Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our new documentary about coffee. My name is Jesus, and I will be guiding you through the origins of the coffee. The coffee, it says, is originating in Ethiopia, where legend says a goat herder named Colby discovered that his goats became energetic after eating coffee berries. The drink later spread to the Arabian Peninsula, where it was first cultivated and traded. By the 15th century, it was grown in Yemen, and by the 16th century, it had reached Persia, Egypt, Syria, and Turkey, becoming popular in public coffee houses known as Club Nanim, important social and cultural centers. Next, we have how to brew a good coffee. You have to keep your equipment clean to avoid bitterness. Use fresh, high-quality beans in grinders before brewing. We have two kinds of grinders. You have the boot grinders that are preferred because they produce a consistent grind size which improve flavor extraction. We have also the blade grinders that are less ideal as they grind unevenly. Some coffee becomes too fine while other pieces stay coarse. You have to use filtered water if tap water has a strong taste or odor. You have to follow the golden ratio, that is say that 1 or 2 tablespoons of ground coffee per 6 ounces of water. You have also checked the water temperature. They have to be 90 at 96 degrees Celsius for the best extraction. The brewing time should be 5 minutes for the drip coffee, 2 and 4 for the French press, and 12 hours for the cold brew. And for the last point, we have improving customer service in coffee shops. You have to go beyond basic service, create a friendly, memorable experience. You have to provide proper training for baristas, for the old ones and for the new ones. You have to promote open communication and attentiveness to customers. You have to be receptive to feedback and continually improve.
Okay, so we have various types of coffee drinks. We have the dry brew that uses gravity in an automatic coffee machine, the pour over that uses hot water poured slowly over coffee grounds. We have the cold brew that coffee is set in room temperature water for hours. We have the espresso that is pressurized water creates a concentrated shot. And we have the ristretto. It's a shorter and stronger espresso shot.
Of course, here are 4 types of beans. The first one, Arabica. It's very smooth and aromatic. The second one is the Robusta. It's strong, berry, and high in caffeine. The third one is the Liberica. It's rare with a unique fruit flavor. The last one is the Excelsa. It's tangy and complex in taste. I have an interesting fact: the Arabica beans are the most used beans in Costa Rica.
The most expensive coffee is Coffee Ludwig. It is made from beans eaten and extracted by cyanide cats. The peppery coffee is a natural mutation, where only one bean forms inside the cherry, creating a more concentrated flavor. That will be all for today. Next we have this extra video of the process of a cappuccino.
choose your coffee beans in 2 steps. If you've recently switched to coffee beans but still haven't found the right ones, then this video is for you. In this video, I'll explain how to choose your coffee beans in 2 easy steps to finally find the one that suits you best. I'll also give you a bit of tips to better understand the label on your coffee bag. First, you need to know that choosing coffee beans relies on 2 major criteria: roast level and coffee's flavor profile. Now, what is roast level? It commonly refers to the roast color of your coffee. It's how your coffee was cooked. The roast will have a significant impact on the balance of your cup. The more the coffee is roasted, the darker the roast. The coffee will then have a darker color and might even look a bit shiny. On the other hand, if the coffee beans are lightly roasted, it will be called light roast. The coffee will have a lighter color. A light roast coffee will offer a lot of acidity and liveliness. It will also offer subtle flavors, as the expression of terroir or origin will be fully preserved. So if you enjoy filter coffee or bright, tangy espresso, you can go for this roast. In the same way, the more intense the roast, the more bitter the cup. And it will also be bolder with more body. However, this type of roast tends to obscure the coffee's origin and aromatic quality. If you like Italian-style coffee, intense and strong, with notes of hazelnut, toasted bread, you can go for this roast. Between these two, you'll find medium roast. If you're looking for balance between acidity and bitterness, a coffee that's not too strong nor too light, you can go for medium roast. Now, the second thing to consider is your coffee's flavor profile. What are the flavors? A flavor profile is what describes the tasting notes in your cup. You may find notes of hazelnut, chocolate, peach, flowers, so on and so forth. But each coffee will come with 2 flavor profiles. The dominant one, representing the most noticeable notes, and the secondary one, with more subtle notes. Here are some examples you could find. Coffees with a dominant rich and sweet profile are usually smooth, with notes of caramel, chocolate, nuts. They tend to develop a lot of sweetness and balance. Coffees with a dominant yellow fruit profile are more surprising, with citrus notes, exotic fruits, stone fruits. They often have a tangy and expressive aroma. There are other flavor profiles, obviously, like red fruits, floral, woody, spicy, each offering very specific notes. If you want to know more, you can check our complete blog article in the description below. Now, be careful not to confuse coffee's flavor with flavored coffee, where additional aromas were added after roasting to infuse them. So, how do you know which flavor profile is for you? Well, it's really through trial and error. There is no other way. On our website, you can filter all our coffees by flavor profile. Another important thing, if you start with a dark roast, it will be harder for you to distinguish its flavors, as you might only perceive roasted aromas. Now, if you want to learn more, you should know there are other factors that will influence the result in your cup. Here are some additional tips to read your coffee labels better. First, the coffee species. Arabica or Robusta, which one should you choose? Arabica is known to offer better aromas, milder coffee, while the Robusta varietal is more intense and bitter. For instance, you could go for a blend of 80% Arabica and 20% Robusta if you like Italian-style espressos. On the other hand, if you prefer expressive, balanced coffees, you could go for 100% Arabica. Now, blend or single origin. This is something you see on many coffee bags. What does it mean? Well, a blend is really a mix of several coffees from different varietals, countries, or farms. The character of the cup will be determined by the coffee roaster who created the blend. This type of coffee is often more balanced and accessible. On the other hand, a single origin coffee comes from a single terroir. The character of the cup is defined by how it's grown, where it's grown, its varietal. It allows for better traceability and a wider range of aromas, which can be quite surprising sometimes. You'll get a very expressive cup.